Be honest, you weren't expecting that. Dr. Foster held nothing back in a whirlwind Series 2 finale that teased various possible endings. Practically every wild fan theory looked like it might come true at various points before closing, with Gemma Serene Jones all but breaking the fourth wall, making a plea for the safe return of her son. And despite fans baying for Simon's blood, and widespread predictions of a grisly demise for one or more of the main characters, everyone made it out of the Series 2 finale alive, though there were some seriously close calls. Advertisement continue reading below. So is the story over. Series creator Mike Bartlett has confirmed he's not currently working on a third series, and that there's no pressure from the BBC to follow this year's outing with another sequel. Certainly, it appears that Dr. Foster as we know it, the torrid, absurd, but hugely compelling revenge thriller, is done. Copyright BBC. With Series 2's finale, the war between Gemma and cheating ex-spouse Simon Bertie Carvel reached its dramatic zenith. Having milked their twisted love-hate dynamic for all it's worth, Bartlett gave us a resolution to their feud. "I won't ever forgive you," Gemma says. "But we will both probably start to forget, and that's enough." Finally, she's ready to move on from the trappings of her old life, and, most importantly, from her train-wreck marriage. It's no small thing that, as Gemma departs the hotel after that heart-to-heart with Simon, the receptionist refers to her by her maiden name. She isn't Dr. Foster anymore. But, and this is important, that doesn't mean there isn't dramatic material to be mined in a potential future series, one perhaps slanted more towards the Foster's child Tom Taylor as a character. Copyright BBC Drama Republic. Lawrence Sandrewich advertisement continue reading below. It's Tom's fate that ends up being at the crux of Series 2's climax, and what happens to him next could be the hook for future episodes. Following through on earlier threats, he disappears, convinced that his old life is irretrievable, had actually just been readmitted to school and tired of his parents' endless war. The Fosters' feuding has finally cost them both their child, and though it's not made clear exactly how soon after his disappearance the final scenes take place, he's been reported as missing and has clearly been absent for some time. Do we already know what happened to Tom? It's possible that Bartlett might have dropped a clue into an earlier scene, which saw James Prasanna Pawanaraja attempting to dissuade Tom from moving out. Of course, you'll have to declare yourself homeless before the council will help you out. Copyright BBC Pictures. Now that Tom's without fixed abode, will he end up in emergency housing working to pay his way? Could rebuilding his life from the ground up be exactly what he needs to escape ghosts of the past? Simon's fate is also left tantalizingly up in the air. Having contemplated suicide, something Gemma had briefly considered aiding him in, he's eventually convinced not to take his own life. The old Simon, though, does appear to have perished. This new rehabilitated model is accepting of his faults, and doesn't make excuses for past sins. He even intends to go along with Gemma's plan for him and leave Parminster for good. But could Tom's disappearance change all that? Surely Simon wouldn't leave for London or anywhere else without knowing his son is safe. Copyright BBC Drama Republic. Lawrence Sandrewich. My head stick around, with Gemma's blessing, to aid in the search. The finale hints heavily at reconciliation between Simon and Gemma, revisiting happier times before her discovery of his affair. And while his desperate pleas for another go at their marriage fall on deaf ears, the last time we see them together, they're united, for the first time in a long time, in their concern over their missing son. It's possible the hunt for Tom might reunite them, as allies, if not as a couple. It might be interesting for Dr. Foster to pick up, not immediately but in a few years, to see what state Gemma and Tom's relationship is in, what part a reformed Simon will play in it going forward, and to examine Tom's mental state as a young adult, as opposed to a troubled teenager. The story of a scorned woman wreaking havoc on her unfaithful spouse might be over, but that doesn't mean we can't revisit this damaged family unit in future, and further explore the emotional repercussions of their actions. Earlier this year, Sally Wainwright revealed she was holding off on a third series of Happy Valley, so that she can explore the relationship between an older Ryan Reese-Khanna and his convict father Tommy Lee Royce James Norton. Perhaps Dr. Foster could follow a similar path. Whatever happens next, we'll always be here waiting, whenever it wants to come back. Whenever it wants to come back. Related article. Dr. Foster's Series 3 could happen, says Serene Jones. Want up to the minute entertainment and tech news? Just hit like on our Digital Spy Facebook page and follow on our @DigitalSpy Twitter account and you're all set.